Right now, the sun is shining on this Sunday morning. We've got your full forecast, including some sun and temperatures in the 70s coming up. And a Wisconsin student says he was barred from giving his graduation speech even after earning the title valedictorian due to his sexuality. We have more on his story. Plus, highway construction in Monroe is causing complications when it comes to getting in and out of the city. We'll take a look at the construction and let you know where you can find alternate routes.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It's 6:30 in the morning on this beautiful Sunday. I'm Amy Reed with meteorologist Chris Reese, and we got a beautiful day ahead of us.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day. The sunshine was able to return yesterday afternoon. For a lot of folks, we are going to keep that around going into the rest of your Sunday, folks. It will be a lot colder out there, though, noticeably. In fact, 12 degrees colder than yesterday in Madison. Check out Black River Falls, nearly 20 degrees colder than just 24 hours ago. Here's how those temperatures are shaping up. 40s and 50s for most of us. We're at 52 here in town. Black River Falls at 39, and a lot of them have been allowed to expire. But Amy, when I woke up this morning, there were frost advisories across parts of northern Wisconsin. So this cold front that came through was quite a big deal. It definitely swept out a lot of that humidity from the atmosphere, and this is coming off of a day where we saw high temperatures close to average yesterday. Janesville made it up to 79. Madison made it to 73 yesterday. So you see what the sunshine was able to do for us, along with that southerly wind flow that we had. But today it's going to be a much different story. We're forecasting a high of 68 degrees. That'll be about 6 degrees colder than normal. As we go throughout the day, we'll be watching that. The good news is we're not expecting any rain. High-resolution Doppler painting a much different picture than it was just 24 hours ago. A lot of the shower and thunderstorm activity now well to our south and east. And folks, it's staying to our south and east, at least as we go through today. So expect full sunshine all Sunday long. Temperatures, they'll top out around 68 degrees in Madison, a little bit warmer as you work your way closer towards the state line. The question now, does that last into next week?
Ooh.
I'll answer that coming up.
Look at that. He's a pro.
Thanks,
Chris. This just into the Channel 3000 Alert Center overnight. A silver alert has been issued for a missing 83-year-old man missing from Mequon. Franklin Wolf was last seen in Kashena around 6:30 last night. He may attempt to travel to Markesan in Green Lake County and could be in a silver 2016 Jeep Grand Cherokee, Wisconsin plates 277ZCC. Wolf was last seen wearing a navy blue windbreaker and dark sweatpants. He's insulin dependent and may need medical attention. Anyone with information about Wolf's location should call 911 or the Mequon Police Department at 262-242-3500. We start the morning in Beaver Dam, where police are investigating after a body was found floating in the Beaver Dam River yesterday. Officials say 2 kayakers found the body around 2 yesterday afternoon in the water between Cooper Street and Highway 151 near St. Peter's Cemetery. Police aren't releasing the person's name until the family is notified. Anyone with information is asked to call Beaver Dam Police at 920-887-4612. Milwaukee police are investigating after 3 people were shot at a popular theater near UW-Milwaukee last night. Police responded to a call just after 8:20 p.m. at the Miramar Theater. Officials are saying none of the injuries are life-threatening. A summer jam concert was happening at the theater. The founders of a Rastafarian church in Madison were arrested again within a day of being released on bond. 23-year-old Dylan Bangert was arrested around 8:30 Friday night on 2 charges of possessing marijuana and felony bail jumping. 39-year-old Jesse Schwark was arrested yesterday morning on a domestic-related disorderly conduct charge and 2 bail jumping charges related to his previous arrest. Authorities raided the Lion of Judah Church Wednesday morning and arrested Bangert and Schwark. The court ordered on Friday that they not possess any controlled substances, including THC, while out on bond. New this morning, a Wisconsin teen and valedictorian is speaking out after he says his school administrators wouldn't allow him to give the graduation speech because of his sexuality. Sheboygan Lutheran High School's commencement ceremony took place last Friday. Nat Worth graduated with a 4.0 and was the valedictorian of his class. Traditionally, the valedictorian would give a speech, but he was not allowed to due to what he had to say.
When the administration saw my speech, the first thing that they said was that they didn't like it, of course.
In a draft of Worth's speech, he wrote, "I have trekked through the depths of depression, found that God's love is endless, and embraced the fact that I'm gay. Absolutely no one should have to go through what I've gone through simply to come to the conclusion that homosexuality is not a sin." He then told administrators that he'd worked together with them to give a speech they deemed appropriate, but they said they didn't trust him. Instead, he watched the salutatorian give the graduation speech.
It's degrading almost, and it makes a person feel terrible about themselves. And with coming forward to the press about my experience at Lutheran High School, I don't want anyone to ever have to go through what I went through again in the future.
School administrators have not responded to a request for comment at this time. Worth's father said he spoke to the high school's principal, who claimed Worth not being able to deliver his commencement speech had nothing to do with his sexuality, just that school administrators did not trust him to stay on script. Back here in Dane County, leaders in the city of Monroe say highway construction has caused problems for people trying to get in and out of town. But our Adam Duxter explains why it's not just commuters who've been feeling the impacts.
It's been months in the making, but Highway 11 here in Monroe is still torn up as part of a complete restoration project. And while people here say the progress is nice to see, it's also taken away one of the main ways to get into town.
If you visit the Alpencheese in Monroe, you'll likely see this man, Tony Skrotkin.
Just snack on it, some cook with it, you know, or things like that.
Who has worked here for over a decade and earned quite a reputation.
People come from all over. They come from Alaska, they come from California, of course Texas, Florida, the eastern states, you know, all the way up to Maine.
But as of late, those customers have had a harder time getting to him.
We just have to fight it through.
The construction on nearby Highway 11 taking away a main entrance to his store.
I probably miss on certain days 5, 6, maybe 7, 8 customers, you know, that kind of go by and then they see, oh, we couldn't get out, and then they're gone. And but I certainly hope they're coming back.
But it's not just Tony's store. Leaders say the whole city has seen the negative impacts the construction has brought.
There's definitely been some adjustments for everybody in the city. It really has hampered some of the tourists that would like to come into Monroe for a day. The normal exit they would normally take isn't the new route for them.
Tony says for now, it's a process of reminding people he's still there.
We want to let the people know that we are open. You know, we have a lot of good access from the south.
And counting on his regulars to help in the meantime.
People know where we are at, you know, if they take a little bit of extra time to come and find us.
And despite all of this, Skrotkin says he's still excited to see this construction because he's looking forward to how good things will be when it's all said and done. He said he's looking forward to smooth roads for years to come. In Monroe, Adam Duxter, News 3 Now.
The city of Monroe says if you're looking to plan a visit, the best thing to do is visit their Chamber of Commerce website, which will include alternate routes to help you get where you're going. We have a quick first alert traffic note for you if you plan to make your way to downtown Madison this morning. The annual Ride the Drive is happening today. That means John Nolan will be closed from Olin Avenue all the way to Willie Street between 9:30 and 4 for the event. The time is 6:38. Here's a live look outside. Chris has your full first alert forecast coming up next.
Hey, welcome to the second half of the weekend, and we are smooth sailing as we go from today and into the work week. Plenty of sunshine out there. A live look from the WISC-TV camera just shows you the blue sky on the horizon. There's actually not a cloud in the sky right now. And Doppler track shows a completely different story as opposed to 24 hours ago as well. We're giving it a break. It's been working out quite a bit lately with the rounds of showers and thunderstorms, and so now it is time for even the radar to get a little bit of rest and relaxation. Here's the upper Midwest as a whole. We're all quiet. This is thanks to high pressure that has moved in. This is sweeping out the showers and thunderstorms well to our south and east, and then some additional to our south and west. But look for those storms to be over parts of the mid-Atlantic today, and then from Texas back up through the front range of the Rockies. That's where we'll see storms, but not for us. We're going to be talking sunshine all day and temperatures that are going to be comfortable as well as we get into the afternoon, though it will be a little bit colder this morning. Check out the 40s that you see in many spots. You go up towards the northern part of the state and you see a lot of those temperatures that are, say, 45, 43. Black River Falls even at 39 right now. We're at 52 here in Madison. Those winds coming out of the north and northwest at 5 miles per hour. That's the sign of the cold front. The humidity still up there, but the air is a lot drier compared to where it has been. Now, Black River Falls has jumped up a couple degrees, now at 42. Still 40s and 50s showing up across lots of southern Wisconsin. We all warm up, though, as we go through the rest of the day. Watch these temperatures. We're going to see that sunshine sticking around. We'll top out around 68 here in Madison. As you work your way closer towards the state line, check out Janesville and Monroe, likely topping out around 70 today, perhaps mid-70s showing up as you work your way over towards the Mississippi River. The Lakeshore will be a little bit colder. We're going to have that cold air blowing off the lake, folks. So as you work your way over towards Milwaukee, Kenosha, Sheboygan, Manitowoc, that is where things are going to be a little bit colder, likely in the 50s and 60s for those highs today. Some cloud cover overnight, the slight chance of a shower, but most folks are going to be staying dry. We'll drop down to 45. Then more sunshine. This is Monday, 63 by lunchtime. Will likely top out into the low 70s for your Monday forecast as well. And that sunshine does last beyond just Monday. As we go through the next couple of days, we're going to see sunshine into Tuesday as well. I do have to say, though, there is going to be a slight chance of an afternoon to evening thunderstorm on Tuesday going into Wednesday. But I do think there's a chance a lot of folks will stay dry with that one as well. We're watching the rain chance for Friday into Saturday. Good news on that one, though. It's trending a little drier. So perhaps this could be a full stretch of dry weather in our forecast. We'll keep our fingers crossed for that. But on the bright side, things are going to be very comfortable with temperatures about where they should be for this time of the year, if not a bit warmer.
You're making it a lot easier to get into the work week.
Well, good. Although a lot of people might play hooky. We'll see.
Thanks, Chris.
My pleasure.
We're sharing the stories of women you'll see in this year's Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk all month long in our series, Why We Walk. Many of the walkers feel like their sisters. This next pair actually are, and one may have just saved the other's life and made life easier for thousands of others in the process. Christina Laurie has their story.
Sisters.
She's my right arm. I can tell her anything. Anything, anytime.
Supporters.
Our mom kind of wouldn't let us be any other way.
Lifesavers.
I wanted to make a difference in the world, and I think now I have my cause, and I know you have your cause.
Little did Rhonda and Vicky know 6 years ago when they first started raising money for Komen's More Than Pink Walk. Their donations would not only help thousands of local women, but their family too.
I had went for my annual mammogram, and they said we have to do a more conclusive one. You need a diagnostic one.
It was 2017 when doctors found a mass on Vicky's breast.
Then I freaked out.
She knew the potential diagnosis all too well. Rhonda had fought and beat breast cancer 4 years earlier.
And I just kept thinking, oh, there's no way we're going to go through this again.
Scared when she heard her sister had to go back for another test.
You'll be fine, because that's what we do in our family. You know, we tell everybody everything will be fine.
Secretly, Rhonda was ready for the worst.
And I kind of knew what I was going to have to do if her path was going to be the same as mine.
Luckily, Vicky's prognosis was positive.
I was the fortunate one.
She didn't have cancer, but her insurance didn't cover the procedure either. meaning she still faced mounting medical bills, like many Wisconsin women who need additional testing.
And that's where Susan G. Komen came in without me even knowing it. She was like, you're never going to believe this.
Vicki was the recipient of a Komen grant, the Pink Shield.
She said, everything you're doing is making a difference. I just burst into tears.
Her screenings were completely covered thanks to that grant, which pays 100% of all medical bills for people with high deductibles or those facing financial hardships.
When I got that call and I burst into tears and they said, I get it now.
Vicki never saw a bill.
It was just such a relief. It was just, it took that burden of not knowing, what's going on to a different level where it's like, okay, at least I don't have to worry about the financial part of it.
The program not only pays for testing and treatment, but rides to and from appointments and childcare.
I'm supposed to raise funds to help people. My sister was helped.
Now, Rhonda isn't just there with money. She's providing meaningful messages only a survivor can.
I need to be there, I need to listen, I need to let them know, Komen can help you.
Like it and she helped Vicki.
She made a difference. She's making a difference.
If you'd like to help Team Breast Friends hit their $30,000 fundraising goal, head to our website, channel3000.com. And if you'd like to participate in this year's walk, you can still register. This year's event is next Saturday, June 8th. It's 6:47 on this Sunday morning. We've got more local news ahead. Up next, we're taking a look at the Capital City Theater's production of a musical that was first produced on Broadway back in 1944. And today you can see it right here in Madison. We've got that preview coming up on News 3 Now this morning, Sunday.
What a difference 24 hours can make. Instead of storms, we're talking clear skies. It's even hard to find any clouds as you look outside. Here's a live look from the station camera as we speak. This is looking over towards the west, towards Blue Mound. You can actually see the mounds on the horizon. I'll point this out for you guys right around there. So yeah, it's a beautiful day. We have less smoke in our atmosphere as well. Winds are coming out of the north and northwest, so that's really kind of clearing out those warmer temperatures along with the humidity. We'll stay comfortable though as we go through the rest of the afternoon. 42 in Black River Falls and Camp Douglas right now. Janesville, one of the warmer spots at 57. Madison sits at 52. And here's high resolution Doppler showing you the clear skies. I mean, it's truly getting in on a much needed relaxation weekend, or Sunday at least, compared to the weather that we've had as of late. And honestly, most of the upper Midwest is quiet as well. Expect that to be the trend that continues throughout the day. We'll top out around 68 to 70 degrees. Amy?
Lovely. Thank you, Chris. The musical On the Town was first produced on Broadway in 1944 and was made into a film in 1949. The show is about 3 sailors on a 24-hour shore leave in New York City during wartime. Now, the Capital City Theater is celebrating the 100th birthday of Leonard Bernstein's timeless work on the Overture stage. Michael Bruno goes backstage to check it out.
Come on, Gabe, hurry up! 24 hours!
On the Town is a story about 3 sailors on leave in New York City on their way to World War II. And they have just 24 hours in New York City, 24 hours to find love, to find adventure, to misbehave.
Gaby, it says here there are 20,000 streets in New York City.
One has a guidebook from his father that told him to see all the famous sites. Ozzy, my character, is kind of girl crazy and just wants to meet dames and go around and just meet as many girls as I can. And then there's Gaby, who wants to just enjoy the city and see the sights, and as well maybe find one true love.
Smith. Oh, I'd love to meet her.
Some people might think, oh yeah, they're going back onto the ship and to fight for our country. But in our story, they're going off to die. And so the 3 women that they meet in our story, that's the last opportunity they get to have a connection and to meet someone who loves them for the 24 hours that they have.
Gaby is kind of the naval hero. He rescued and saved the lives of Chip and Ozzy, myself, my character. And so we kind of band together and say, okay, you know what, we're gonna put our goals aside and help Gaby do what he wants to do and find maybe his true love or what he wants to do.
Here's the way you do it. Hello, baby, gosh, you're pretty. I'm so tall and strong and witty. God's great gift to New York City.
And talk to me a little bit about the collaboration you had with Madison Ballet for this, because you're also choreographing the show.
Yes, they've been fabulous. I was told I would have 3 women from the Madison Ballet, and at first I'm like, what can I do with 3 women? Because I would love to have like more. And then I realized we have 3 female leads. So we could use those ballet dancers to represent the women of our show in a ballet setting.
And talk to me about the difficulty of that dancing in heels. That's something you probably don't do with the ballet.
It's surprisingly hard. You think if you're on your toes all day, it'd be easy, but it's painful. My bunions were really hurting.
The music is incredible.
It's incredible. I mean, it's got that sort of 40s big band sound.
And you have a full orchestra that you're conducting
as
as well.
Yes, we have a full professional orchestra of 27 people, and they're incredible.
Gaby's coming to town. He's on the town.
Our show, what's been fabulous to revisit the show now, I did it 19 years ago, but to have the lens that I have of it now in 2019, I'm able to see it and see what they were able to get away with during the time that it was written, because the war was happening. People needed to laugh and just forget, the horrific war. So you could get away with a lot. And I think now with the audiences that we have today, we see things a little differently. A lot of the overly sexual humor towards women can be hard to digest. So I've been really trying to be very careful that everything we do empowers women, whether that's allowing the women to just have a different take on lines or actually removing some lines that are just inappropriate. So I've been trying to just make it more digestible now without losing its authentic charm and beautiful storytelling.
It's a hell of a town!
Today is your last chance to see On the Town. It's playing at the Capitol Theater over at the Overture Center. You can find tickets over at tickets.overture.org. There's a full hour of news ahead on News 3 this morning, Sunday. Next, we're running through the day's top stories. But first, here's a preview of what's to come on an all-new For the Record.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Neil Heinen. Today on For the Record, we're going to update you on the critical work of two of Greater Madison's most important civic institutions, the United Way of Dane County and the Madison Community Foundation. Most importantly, you'll learn how these two community pillars are working together to strengthen the Greater Madison region under the leadership of United Way of Dane County President and CEO Renee Moe and Madison Community Foundation President Bob Sorge. And they are my guests for a fascinating conversation coming up this morning at 10:30 on News 3 Now.
If you live along one of Madison's area lakes, crews are gearing up to help you clean up. We have an update on this year's lakeweed pickup starting tomorrow.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It's Sunday, June 2nd. I'm Amy Reed. We'll get a check on weather with Chris in just a second, but first, let's get you caught up on today's headlines. The Virginia Beach community is mourning the loss of 12 people following a workplace shooting there on Friday. 11 city employees and a contractor were killed in what city leaders call the most devastating day in the history of Virginia Beach. The victims included public works and public utilities engineers, an account clerk, and a special products coordinator. projects coordinator, excuse me. Their years of service to Virginia Beach range from 11 months to 41 years. Vigils were held across the Virginia Beach area yesterday. President Trump ordered all government buildings, including overseas U.S. embassies, to fly the American flag at half-staff to pay respect to the victims of this attack. The investigation into the shooting continues. Officials have identified the shooter, who was killed after a long gunfire battle with police. The 40-year-old suspect had worked for the Virginia Beach Public Utility for 15 years before opening fire on his own co-workers Friday. He used his key card to access the building and was armed with a .45 caliber handgun equipped with a high-capacity magazine and silencer. CBS News has learned the weapon was purchased recently, locally, and legally by the suspect. Additional weapons have since been recovered from the scene and the shooter's home. Investigators still do not know the shooter's motivation. New overnight, a towering cruise ship on Sunday struck a dock and a tourist riverboat on a busy canal in Venice. Italian media reported that at least 5 people were injured in the crash that happened around 8:30 a.m. local time this morning. We do not know the extent of those injuries at this time. It happened in a major thoroughfare that leads to the St. Mark's Square in the popular tourist city. Video shows the cruise ship unable to halt its momentum, plowing into the smaller boat and the dock full of people. Now let's toss it over to Chris.
Well, good morning. We're starting things out on a cooler note around here after a cold front came through yesterday. We're 11 degrees colder than 24 hours ago in Madison. You work your way up towards Black River Falls. That's where temperatures are 14 degrees colder than just 24 hours ago. Winds coming out of the North Forest right now. That's the drier, cooler air that's working its way on in. 57 in Janesville, 52 in the Dells. Camp Douglas at 49, Black River Falls at 46. That's the colder spot. Meanwhile, Janesville, one of the warmer spots. But a lot of us are in the low and approaching the mid-50s already this morning. Of course, this comes off the heels of a day that we did see those temperatures a bit closer to where they should have been for this time of the year. We hit a high of 73 in Madison. Janesville was 1 degree shy of 80. That just goes to show what enough sunshine and a southerly wind can do, because that's what we got yesterday. It allowed us to warm up a couple degrees more than initially anticipated. Today will likely be cooler, though. We're looking at a high right around 68. That'll be 6 degrees colder than where our highs normally shape up for this time of the year. But in the meantime, high-resolution Doppler completely free of the showers and thunderstorms, getting some much-needed R&R for the Sunday afternoon. In fact, most of the showers and thunderstorms are now well to the south and east, pushing down towards parts of the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic. So as we go through the rest of the day, full balls of sunshine at least earlier. We might see a few decorator clouds by the afternoon, and those temperatures topping out in the upper 60s. Amy?
Thanks, Chris. In Rock County, a 73-year-old Beloit man has agreed to a plea deal in the stabbing death of his roommate 4 years ago. Percy Oliver was scheduled to be in court tomorrow for the murder of 51-year-old David Banks, but Oliver had a change of heart and agreed to plead no contest Thursday to second-degree reckless homicide, according to the Beloit Daily News. Banks was stabbed and thrown into a fire escape in June of 2015, and sentencing is scheduled for August 15th. Oliver faces a maximum sentence of 30 years in prison and a fine of up to $100,000. New this morning, officials in Walworth County say the law does not require them to alert residents if a sexually violent person will be moving in nearby. Under state statutes, people convicted of sexually violent crimes are not allowed to live within 1,500 feet of schools, churches, child care centers, parks, and similar establishments. The Janesville Gazette reports Walworth County says they're not required to notify anyone outside of those zones if someone convicted of those crimes will be living nearby. Right now, Walworth County is working to make a countywide map identifying those exclusion zones, but officials say that map will not be made public. They say if made public, they fear landlords outside of the exclusion zones would hike rents to house sexual predators. Right now, each county is required to form a committee and identify landlords willing to house people found by courts to be sexually violent, meaning they have a mental disorder and will likely reoffend. Into the Channel 3000 Alert Center overnight, a Janesville woman is now facing her 5th operating while intoxicated charge after she allegedly failed to stop for a red light. Janesville police say it happened around 12:30 this morning when officers saw a vehicle fail to stop for the red light at the intersection of North Franklin and Center Way. Officers say 51-year-old Stacy Williams showed signs of impairment and failed standard field sobriety tests. Records showed she had a revoked license and 4 previous OWI convictions. She was taken to the Dane County Jail on suspicion of her 5th OWI charge. Officials say an Iowa teen severely damaged a stolen car when he drove into a ditch early Friday morning. Deputies responded to County Highway W in the town of Benton after a Volkswagen was found in a ditch. 17-year-old Caleb Warner was driving the car stolen from a 20-year-old Iowa woman. He was charged with 2 counts of receiving stolen property and resisting arrest and later released from the Lafayette County Jail. Lake weed pickup is back for Madison residents this morning, but this year the Dane County Partnership is expanding to the Monona side as well. Starting tomorrow and going through August, shoreline barge crews will be picking up aquatic trash and debris from residents' piers on Lake Mendota, Monona, and Kegonsa. The goal is to improve the overall water quality. They'll only pick up the vegetation that has washed up on shore, no yard waste. It must be placed on your dock by 7 a.m. on the Monday of your designated pickup week. NASA is partnering with the Green Bay Sewage District to track the blue-green algae blooms. Wisconsin Public Radio reports they've installed a monitor in the lower bay that can upload data to satellites and give scientists a chance to analyze it quickly. Researchers hope the technology can help predict blooms and their intensity. Lawmakers in Green Bay are discussing the removal of huge piles of coal along the Fox River. The coal has been there for more than a century, and on Monday, leaders submitted an amendment to the Wisconsin state budget for $1.5 million to be dedicated to the C. Reese Coal Relocation and International Port Expansion Project. The previously estimated cost to remove this coal has been upward of $29 million.
Going to require significant investment, obviously, on the part of local and state and federal partners.
Now that the city, county, and state are all working together to move the coal piles, lawmakers are optimistic that the process will move forward. We have new video as the last piece of the Bradley Center is finally down. Demolition crews have been gradually taking it down for months. The Bucks president hopes hotels, apartments, or commercial space are developed there, but that'll take time. First, the lot will be set up for staging and hospitality during the 2020 Democratic National Convention. Time is 7:08. Here's a live look outside. Plenty of sun and clear skies this morning. Chris has your full First Alert forecast next.
Happy Sunday. Welcome to a beautiful day. And yesterday, although we did have some storms, wasn't that bad within itself. But today is certainly going to be the pick day of the weekend, albeit a little bit colder. Let's go ahead and show you the sky right now. Lots of sunshine. You're honestly hard-pressed to find any cloud cover out there as well. High pressure, folks, is the real deal. So high-resolution Doppler getting a much-needed break. Things are clear. We're not tracking any storms out there this morning, not in Madison or really across the upper Midwest as a whole, as that high pressure continues to take on over for us. Any showers and thunderstorms are now well towards the south and east. You're talking parts of the Ohio Valley and over towards the mid-Atlantic. Some additional storms can't be ruled out from the Texas Panhandle and into the front range of the Rockies. But for us, we will be quiet, folks. Temperatures are going to be comfortable as well. We're sitting in the upper 40s throughout the northern portions of the state. Low to mid 50s as you work your way down towards the south. And then we get closer to 60 as you cross your way towards central Illinois. Madison at 54 right now. Winds coming out of the north at 6 miles per hour. That is the wind that's keeping things comfortable today. The moisture is going to be a lot less in the air, and those temperatures, they're going to be comfortable, but they will be cooler than they were at this time yesterday. Check out other temperatures across southern Wisconsin. 53 as you work your way up towards Wautoma right now. 57 down towards Janesville. Black River Falls still the colder spot at 46 degrees right now. We'll be warming up this afternoon even there. In fact, as we put this into motion, check out the temperatures this afternoon. We'll likely be topping out right around 68 degrees. There will be 70s showing up as you get closer towards the state line. Check out Janesville and Monroe, topping out around 70. Over towards the Mississippi River, we're talking perhaps mid-70s coming into the picture. One cold spot in Wisconsin, though, that's going to be right along the lake shore. We're going to see a nice lake breeze come in, especially on those counties that border the lake. That's going to keep temperatures there into the 50s and 60s. But for everywhere else, we're talking upper 60s and then perhaps low 70s this afternoon. Now, overnight, there is the slightest chance of a shower, especially north and east of here. I think this is even a little bit overdone, but that chance will be there. We'll see some cloud cover as well. Temperatures will fall down towards about 45 tonight. More sunshine ticks up into Monday. We'll see temperatures in the 60s by lunchtime and then low 70s for your temperatures pretty much for everyone going into the day on Monday. Again, with the exception of the lake shores, that lake breeze stays intact. So it's going to be a nice, comfortable couple of days. And the good news is, other than this little Tuesday night and the Wednesday rain chance, most of the week is going to stay dry. In fact, towards next weekend, that rain chance is mainly going to be towards the south. So if you look at the forecast for next weekend, yes, we do have a rain chance Friday into Saturday, but notice most of that is going to be south of Madison, closer towards the state line. But we'll have a slight thunderstorm chance into the afternoon on Monday. Again, most folks will stay dry. Another slight chance Tuesday, but Tuesday night into Wednesday is when I do think we'll see some rain come through. Other than that, folks, it is a predominantly dry forecast with temperatures that are very comfortable for this time of the year.
You know I love that.
Oh, everyone loves that. I hope. I hope. I'm making assumptions there, but I think a lot of folks do.
Thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
Well, we've been asking you to share your morning with us. For my News 3 morning, check out this beautiful photo by Linda Watson. We have some talented photographers near us. This is Lake Koshkonong. Thank you so much for sharing. What does your morning look like? Take a picture, post it on the Channel 3000 Facebook page or on Twitter using the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We'll share our favorites right here on News 3 Now this morning. We're taking a look at events around the state this weekend. Participants from around the state of Wisconsin gathered in Marshfield yesterday for their chance to compete in the state cornhole championships. The event was hosted by the American Cornhole Organization in conjunction with Dairy Fest. It ran from 11 in the morning until 11 at night. Winners of their division are eligible to participate in the World Championship Cornhole Tournament. Yep, real thing, coming up in July.
We're just excited to host the state championships here in Marshfield, and we brought in a lot of visitors from around the state, and so we're having fun, and we're part of Dairy Fest. It's a big fun weekend here in Marshfield, so if you're not in the area, come down and have fun with us.
The event costs only $30 to sign up for, and there's no age requirements. Cash prizes range from $1,000 If you missed this year's contest, it's never too early to start getting ready for next year's. As we mentioned, the 38th annual Dairy Fest parade took place yesterday in the town of Marshfield. It's one of the biggest parades in north central Wisconsin. More than 70 floats and school bands participated this year. Each group showed off in their own creative way how to celebrate both Wisconsin dairy products and the agriculture industry.
Da, 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 da. Go, Pack, go!
Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go!
More than 4,000 fans dressed in green and gold gathered together yesterday in Grand Chute to watch the Packers take not the football field, but the baseball diamond. The Packers traded in their shoulder pads and helmets for bats and gloves for the green and gold charity softball game. The contest pitted the Packers offense against its defense. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur took the field despite having a torn Achilles. The team's first-year head coach threw out the first pitch at the charity softball game. Not too bad. Another notable play, Geronimo Allison hit a home run in the bottom of the sixth. The offense, led by Devontae Adams, beat the defense with Captain Blake Martinez at the helm, 16-8 in the final. The game raised money for Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin, Make-A-Wish Wisconsin, and various youth sports organizations. Another competition took place right here in Madison. The 20th annual Capital City Challenge Strongman competition took place at Olbrook Park yesterday. If you aren't familiar with the sport, here's an example of just one of the events in yesterday's competition. Athletes had to clean and press a 90-pound cast iron log. For women, it was how many reps they can get in a certain period of time. Carl Kurth started this 20 years ago and got a little help from his friend Ford. He says he's happy to see it grow so much.
We love the sport, and to see that much enthusiasm with other people has been gratifying to us and has made it fun every year.
Other events included a 300-pound sled pull, a 300-pound tire flip, farmer's walk, and lifting 100-pound-plus Atlas stones. Madison also kicked off Pride Month as the calendar flipped to June. The UW Facebook page posted a photo this morning of rainbow-colored terrace chairs on the Memorial Union Terrace. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway, the city's first openly gay mayor, will open the celebration of Pride Month tomorrow at noon by raising a rainbow flag in front of the city's municipal building. June is Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, and Queer Pride Month. Coming up, we're taking a look at some of the day's top medical headlines. Plus, one Wisconsin teen is sharing her story after suffering a stroke, partially caused by her birth control. We have more on that and the day's top medical news up next on News 3 Now this morning.
Well, that sunshine, certainly a welcomed picture for all of us here in South Central Wisconsin. We've just had the rain, and it has been relentless, but now a different story tunes into town, and perhaps we may see some sunshine for longer than just today. Temperature-wise, we're a little bit colder than we were at this time yesterday. 40s and 50s showing up across the state, upper 50s as you work your way closer towards the state line. No showers or thunderstorms, though. High-resolution Doppler giving us a much-needed clean sweep. All of the showers or thunderstorms now working their way towards the southeast and out of town. So for us, expect the yellow ball to be in the sky all day long, perhaps a few decorator clouds this afternoon. We'll top out to the upper 60s and low 70s for some. Amy.
Thanks, Chris. Topping this morning's health headlines, the measles outbreak continues across the U.S. The Centers for Disease Control say the number of measles cases has now spiked to 971. That surpasses total cases back in '92. Officials say if current outbreaks continue through the fall, the U.S. may lose its elimination status. That's a goal that was first announced in 1966, and it was accomplished by the year 2000. New data published in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute finds cancer death rates in the U.S. are dropping for men, women, and children. Plus, the rate of new cancers decreased for men and were stable for women. Researchers also found new cancer cases related to excess weight and physical inactivity are increasing. Men who smoke could be impacting their unborn children. A new study in Taiwan finds children exposed to paternal tobacco smoke before birth are more likely to develop childhood asthma. An 18-year-old high school student right here in Wisconsin who had a stroke says it was caused by a pill, one that 2/3 of all women between 15 and 49 years old take some form of. Now she's sharing her story so others can be aware of warning signs and speak up if something doesn't feel right.
Cudahy High School senior and athlete Hannah Drummond was in gym class when she just didn't feel right.
And all of a sudden, just the left side of my body just went tingly, went numb.
Drummond went to the hospital and learned she had a stroke.
It was actually scary. I knew, knowing I was so young, being like, I'm 18, this is happening to me.
Now she's sharing what caused the scariest moment of her life, birth control pills. But at the hospital, Drummond also learned she has a hole in her heart.
They said that the birth control that I was taking, the estrogen in it caused a blood clot, which must have slipped through the hole and up to my brain.
Drummond is not alone.
Woke up with my arm asleep and I couldn't talk.
This woman from Maine also had a stroke when she was a teen. Her doctors believed it was caused by her birth control. Birth control pills can put your health at risk. Loyola University Medical Center found that for healthy women who are taking birth control and aren't at risk for a stroke, the likeliness of birth control causing one is small. But for those who do have stroke risk factors, there's a significant increase, and some doctors recommend not taking the pill. Drummond is now hoping her story can help other young women.
Most definitely don't be scared of birth control just because of what happened. Find the one that works for you, and also listen to your body. If you don't feel something is right, like say something, tell someone.
Hannah says part of her vision is still impaired, but she expects to make a full recovery. There's a half hour of news still ahead here on News 3 Now this morning, Sunday. Next, we're running through this morning's top stories, including the latest on the investigation into the Virginia Beach shooting. Plus, we'll tell you about a bill being worked on to cut the demand for puppy mills here in Wisconsin. More of today's stories are still ahead. News 3 Now this morning. Now, some Wisconsin students are getting the chance to go to prom despite some of the battles they're facing. We're about the patient prom at the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, straight ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It's Sunday, June 2nd. I'm Amy Reed. We'll get a check on weather with Chris in just a second. But first, let's get you caught up on today's headlines. The Virginia Beach community is mourning the loss of 12 people following a workplace shooting there on Friday. 11 city employees and a contractor were killed in what city leaders call the most devastating day in the history of Virginia Beach. The victims included public works and public utilities engineers, an account clerk, and a special projects coordinator. Their years of service to Virginia Beach ranged from 11 months to 41 years. Vigils were held across the Virginia Beach area yesterday. President Trump ordered all government buildings, including overseas U.S. embassies, to fly the American flag at half staff to pay respects to the victims of this attack. The investigation into the shooting continues. Officials have identified the shooter, who was killed after a long gunfire battle with police. The 40-year-old suspect had worked for the Virginia Beach Public Utility for 15 years before opening fire on his own coworkers Friday. He used his key card to access the building and was armed with a .45 caliber handgun equipped with a high-capacity magazine and silencer. CBS News has learned the weapon was purchased recently, locally, and legally by the suspect. Additional weapons have since been recovered from the scene and the shooter's home. Investigators still do not know the shooter's motivation. New overnight, a towering cruise ship on Sunday struck a dock in a tourist riverboat on a busy canal in Venice. Italian media reported that at least 5 people were injured in the crash that happened around 8:30 local time this morning. We do not know the extent of those injuries at this time. It happened in a major thoroughfare that leads to St. Mark's Square in the popular tourist city. Video shows the cruise ship unable to halt its momentum, plowing into the smaller boat and the dock full of people. Now let's take a look at our weather with Chris.
Yeah, that's right, Amy. It's going to be another beautiful weather day around here. In fact, it'll be more beautiful than it was yesterday. We won't see as many storms. It will be a little bit cooler, though. We're already cooler this morning, 11 degrees colder than 24 hours ago in Madison. Prairie du Chien and Boscobel, they're 12 degrees colder than just 24 hours ago. Winds coming out of the north for a lot of folks, keeping those temperatures mainly into the 40s and 50s. And we're actually going to see a lake breeze that comes in later on that's going to keep some of those folks staying where they are right now. But this comes off the heels of a day where we saw those temperatures well into the 70s, 73 for Madison, Janesville making it to 79 degrees yesterday. That was with the south wind. Now those winds coming out of the north, I do think will only make it up to about 68 here in town, which is a little bit colder than where we should be for this time of the year, but not all that bad compared to what things could be. No rain or thunderstorms expected today. High resolution Doppler all clear. Most of the shower and thunderstorm activity now working its way well towards the south and east. There's a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity coming in from parts of the high plains right now. That should stay at bay and not impact us. So expect the yellow ball to remain dominant throughout the day. We'll see those temperatures warming up for the afternoon. Amy.
Beautiful. Thank you, Chris. We have a first alert traffic note for you this morning in Columbia County. All lanes of Wisconsin 33 are back open this morning after being closed in both directions overnight. A semi hit a deer and jackknifed on that highway near Garrison Drive. The crash happened at 2 this morning. Those roads reopened around 5:50. Ahead of the 2020 elections, Governor Tony Evers is reminding Democrats to expect challenging primaries, but also to remember that they're all on the same team when they're over. Governor Tony Evers was the keynote speaker at the Democratic Party's state convention at the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino in Milwaukee. This comes as Republican legislators are revising his state budget, already removing several signature proposals from his spending plan. Liberal state Supreme Court candidates Jill Karofsky and Ed Fallone were also on last night's agenda. Along with Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin, ahead of the convention, she continued her Made in America push in Milwaukee on Friday, touring Rottwasher in Bayview. She talked about her new proposal to require more infrastructure projects and to use products made in the country.
When we're using taxpayer dollars, we should prefer, whenever possible, U.S.-made components, U.S.-made parts.
Buying American goods is one of Senator Baldwin's main priorities. Meanwhile, Republican Senator Ron Johnson appeared at the Milwaukee Press Club Newsmaker Luncheon Friday. He touched on a variety of issues during a short speech. One was his opposition to President Trump's decision to impose new tariffs on Mexico in order to solve what he calls the border crisis. But Johnson says he's working with Democratic colleagues to find another solution.
We're all talking to the same people. We're getting the same answers in terms of, how do you fix this current crisis in the here and now at the border? And it really is by removing those individuals that clearly don't have a valid asylum claim.
Meanwhile, a bill at the state capitol could put puppy mills out of business. The proposal would ban pet stores from directly selling dogs and cats to consumers, which would cut the demand for pets from mills. Instead, pet stores would be required to work with shelters and humane societies.
It's really a win-win. It's great for the businesses because they still get that foot traffic, and it's great for us as shelters too. It's one more place where we can get our animals out and into great homes.
Businesses that don't comply could face steep fines of $10,000 for the first offense. In a report released last month, the Humane Society of the United States identified 7 puppy mills still operating in Wisconsin. In other local news this morning, you may want to check your fridge due to a Johnsonville sausage recall regarding products made here in Wisconsin. Johnsonville Sausage is recalling more than 95,000 pounds of ready-to-eat sausages that might contain plastic. The recall affects jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage with a best-by date of June 9th. This is the second Johnsonville recall in about a year due to plastic concerns. Both recalls involve products made at the Sheboygan County plant. It's that time of year. Students will be heading to prom. For most teens, it's a rite of passage, but for some teens, going to prom isn't always possible. So in Milwaukee, the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin is making sure their patients have their special nights. Last night was the hospital's 10th annual patient prom. Patients get to leave their hospital rooms, pick out a dress and jewelry. They get their hair and makeup done and get to experience a teenage rite of passage.
Usually when I come here, it's for appointments or it's for admissions, and so I kind of usually just tie the hospital with that. Being able to tie it to memories, like with other people and having this fun time is really nice.
Katie is battling multiple chronic illnesses. Other teens said being able to dance the night away at the Children's Hospital helps them forget about the struggles they're going through. Some patients even have come back after they're out of the hospital to volunteer or to just have another night of fun. With the forecast we're having, it's looking like a good day and week to get outside. We'll take a look at the weather coming up. Plus, all the more reason to get outside. It's free fun weekend at state parks, and today's your chance to take advantage of the deal. We'll have that story next on News 3 Now this morning.
Well, good Sunday. We're going to be seeing some sunshine return today, and the showers and thunderstorms, those continue to move out of town, so we will not have to worry about those today. Maybe not even tomorrow either, which is certainly fantastic news. Here's a look at the upper Midwest right now on Doppler track, showing you where the storms were at one point and then where they've been. A lot of that has been moving towards the south and east. Here in town, there is nothing in terms of showers or thunderstorms. We're tracking a whole lot of sunshine. Temperatures are a little bit cooler as well. Check out the 40s and 50s showing up. Camp Douglas still at 49, but I think all of us are starting to turn the corner into the 50s now. But you see this look? This is how it's going to look today, likely into Monday. I'm going to answer the question of how long it looks like this coming up in Maine weather. But before we get to Maine weather and the rest of the news, I do want to go ahead and highlight traffic for you guys. If anyone is headed out on this Sunday, this is East Wash looking down towards Capitol. No big issues showing up. Things are certainly moving smoothly. A little bit of construction on the belt line. No issues on the belt line, however, nor are there any issues across Dane County or downtown. So far, we're shaping up for a great Sunday. Let's keep it that way, folks. Amy.
Thanks, Chris. Despite the cooler temperatures and a bit of rain that was in the forecast yesterday, many Wisconsinites are out enjoying the great outdoors. This weekend, admission to state parks is free. No licenses are required to fish in Wisconsin waters, and trail fees are waived. We caught up with one family camping at Devil's Lake.
You silly goose. I grew up camping a lot when I was little, and it was just a super fun, bonding family time.
Which is one of the reasons Laura Cooney is spending the weekend at Devil's Lake with her husband Patrick and their two sons, Owen and Dylan.
Letting them kind of explore in the woods and run around and see nature and kind of get down and dirty, which is really fun.
It's also one of the reasons the family moved to Wisconsin.
We moved here from Maryland because we wanted to be able to just drive, 45 minutes from downtown and be able to get outdoors and go camping.
We really like to see people come out and enjoy whatever recreational activity they like to do, whether it's camping or hiking or swimming or kayaking.
The variety of activities to do at Devil's Lake is what draws many to the state park, making campsite reservations hard to come by on summer weekends.
It looks like we're going to have another busy season. We looked at our camping reservations. Those are on par with past seasons. Pretty much, our camping reservations fill up every weekend. And then during the week, we have some of those weeks that also fill up.
Still, the Wisconsin DNR is trying to attract even more visitors to the 66 state parks, offering free fun weekend perks to those who live here and to those who don't. All state parks are free. You don't need a license to fish. You can ATV for free, and all trail fees are waived. Despite the ease of this free weekend, the Cooneys booked this weekend adventure in advance.
We actually booked this weekend probably 3 months ago.
And they plan on coming back, whether they have to pay or not.
We just like coming here and camping that we end up trying to book 3 or 4 weekends each summer.
Which for the DNR makes these free weekends worth it.
I think it's just a great opportunity for people to get outdoors and enjoy the, kind of enjoy the recreation, outdoor recreation that state parks have to offer.
If the rain in the forecast kept you home yesterday, you can still visit state parks for free today. The DNR doesn't plan on doing a free weekend like this again until next year. We've got a great forecast ahead for this Sunday morning and truly the rest of the week. You're looking live over Madison right now. Chris is back with your full forecast next on News 3 Now this morning. But first, let's look at who's 3 today. Happy birthday, Addie.
Welcome to the sunshine, folks. We have been deserving of this for a very long time, and I'll tell you what, by golly, we have it outside. Plenty of sunshine out there now. We'll talk about how long that sunshine continues to last. High-resolution Doppler is clear of all showers and thunderstorms this morning across our part of Wisconsin and really the entire upper Midwest as a whole. Showers and thunderstorms have gone by the wayside, moving well towards the south and east now. We're going to see some of those showers and thunderstorms moving towards the mid-Atlantic as we go throughout the day. In the meantime, temperatures, they're going to be staying comfortable too. Upper 40s as you work your way towards northern Wisconsin. Eau Claire at 49 right now, Superior at 46. We become warmer as you work your way just further towards the south. You get your way towards the state line and then into Illinois. That's where you start to see more of those temperatures into the 60s. Madison sits at 54 right now. Winds are coming out of the north at 6 miles per hour. Folks, that northerly wind is going to help keep the humidity low today. It's also going to keep those temperatures just a little bit cooler. It's not going to be cold, but it's going to be cooler out there today as opposed to previous days. Mineral Point at 59 right now. Lone Rock with us here at 54. You work your way over towards Viroqua, 55. Janesville coming in at 57. Let's put this into motion now. 4:30, check the temperatures. We're talking upper 60s and even some 70s showing up as you work your way towards the Mississippi River. That's going to be the theme as opposed to cooler temperatures along the lake. Notice this little boundary showing up as you work your way towards the eastern coast, rather, of Wisconsin. This is actually the lake breeze kind of interacting with that northwesterly wind. This could be the focal point for perhaps a little shower to pop up overnight. Most folks are going to be dry, though, but it will be keeping things cooler along the lake. They're not going to get out of the 50s going through today. Here's the clouds moving back in overnight tonight. Again, notice that little focal point for some showers I've talked about. Most folks, though, are going to be staying dry. We drop down to 45. The sunshine moves back into Monday, 63 by lunchtime, and then we'll top out into the low 70s into Monday. I do think that we'll see some sunshine continuing into Tuesday as well. We're going to watch a weak little system, though, Tuesday night into Wednesday. That'll drop some rain chances in here. Notice how most of the week, though, stays dry. This is Friday at this point. There may be some cloud cover. The rain staying south of us, and that likely lasts throughout the weekend as well, which is certainly some fantastic news. We have needed the dry weather around here for a very long time, so this is the season that the farmers need essentially to get out there and do a lot of that planting and hopefully dry out the ground a little bit so that we don't have as much of a flood threat every time it rains or storms around here. But check it out. Much more sunshine in that forecast than there are rain chances. Temperatures will be staying into the 70s, which is, of course, exactly what we need around here.
Yeah, you said we were very deserving of that. I agree. We are deserving of this.
It's been a very long time since I feel like we've had a forecast that quiet.
Yes, we should enjoy it.
Yes, we should. My pleasure.
More local news right now. New data shows Wisconsin's honey production fell by nearly a quarter last year. Local producers say that's largely due to the weather. The National Agricultural Statistics Service found that the state produced 2.3 million pounds of honey in 2018, which is 23% less than 2017. The Wisconsin Honey Producers Association say that's mainly a result of our winter weather, especially the heavy snowfall we saw in April of last year, which set back planting. Other factors contributing to the low production include too much rain, which can wash out the nectar out of the flowers, preventing bees from collecting it. Farms increasing pesticide use and parasitic mites infesting hives and killing bees. This summer, local families may find fewer places to take their children swimming. 1,800 pools have closed across the country in the past decade, many because they're just too old. Here in Madison, the Ridgewood Community Pool just opened for the 61st summer. The average pool is only built to last 40 years. That means Ridgewood needs a lot of work to make it ready for your visits this summer.
What most people don't realize is every year we have to do quite a bit just to get it closed. Probably anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, and then in the springtime we've got to find the time when the weather allows for us to paint all the bottoms of the pools.
That's on top of all the maintenance work that has to be done in the pool's pump rooms, which is both time-consuming and costly. USA Swimming warns that if more community pools continue to close as they age, fewer kids will have access to swim lessons, and the number of drowning deaths could increase. Later today, you can fight your thirst and help fight childhood cancer at the same time. Alex's lemonade stand will be at Sky Zone Madison later today. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a lemonade stand, but all the proceeds go toward research to help find better treatments and cures for childhood cancer. The lemonade stand kicks off today and runs through June 9th at Sky Zone, just off the Beltline. Today, you can grab a cup of lemonade for a good cause from 11 a.m. to 7. There's more news ahead all day long here on News 3 Now. You can keep up with us over at channel3000.com. Plus, we have more shows tonight at 5:30 and 10. But first, we're taking a look at some remarkable babies getting their racing careers started at a very young age. That's coming up next on News 3 Now this morning. Finally this morning, the world is getting to meet a new member of the Dallas Zoo.
That's right. We're talking about the newest baby hippo. Almost 3 weeks after its birth at the Dallas Zoo, this baby hippo and its mother will make their public debut together for the first time today. The baby hippo was born on May 14th to mother hippo Boipello.
Cute name.
I know the pair took their time exploring the hippo outpost at the zoo on yesterday morning, with the baby following its mother into the pool, where they remained for most of the morning. Since then, the zoo reports that the baby has remained close by Boipello's side, so the staff has not been able to determine the hippo calf's gender.
That's cute. And in Lithuania, 25 babies are starting their racing careers a bit early. The county held its annual baby racing contest yesterday.
And it's now time for the 20th baby race. The babies range from 7 months to a year. They competed in heats along with a 5-meter carpeted track.
5 meter, what a record time, huh? At the finish line, parents lured them by flashing items such as TV remotes, cookies, animal toys, and mobile phones. Wow, the times have changed. Several toddlers lost ground following early leads after sitting down near the finish line to look around. Some babies, startled by the crowd commotion around them, did not crawl across the starting line. The winner, Ignis Dovitatis, better learn to say that name, he's going to be big, will be 12 months old in 2 weeks.
Wow. Ignis Dovitatis. Nice.
And Boy Pello, the hippo.
Boy Pello.
We got
the
some fun names. Yeah.
We did it, though. We pulled it off. Happy Sunday. You know what else we're pulling off? The umbrellas, the rain jackets, all that gear, because the sunshine, I know, that was good, right?
Yeah,
that was good. I think I need a raise for that one. The sunshine, though, is going to take over as we go through the rest of today. We'll see those highs in the upper 60s and low 70s. Further towards the south and west will be a bit warmer. Monday, it's low 70s again. More sunshine. There'll be a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon. I really think most of Monday is going to be dry, so have no major worries. Sunshine continues Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There'll be rain Tuesday night into Wednesday. The days themselves should be mostly sunny. The next rain chance comes in Friday into Saturday, and even that looks like it's going to be mainly south of us. So this is the driest forecast we've had in a long time. Enjoy it.
I'm going to. Thanks so much for joining us. Get out there and enjoy it. Take care.